certain place because there could be a hole out here that's the 9th hole, it could be the 2nd hole, we don't know yet. We haven't gotten that far in the process. Tiger and I almost got run over trying to go across Jeffrey in a golf cart. So I know what that's like. And you are going to go under Jeffrey. So, you know, Jeffrey is not going to be nearly as complicated as going across down here to connect the two courses. Jeffrey was going to be a golf-only underpass that's basically going to be sufficient for golfers and caddies and golf carts and maintenance equipment. Complication with the connecting of the two courses is that is an underpass that should be built irrespective of whether there's golf courses here or not, because that is, you know, that's the access point for this entire community to the lakefront. You know, the greatest natural treasure Chicago's got right here. It's hard to get to. So we're working on how can we do something that works for the golf and that underpass, but also the regular use by non-golfers. But Jeffrey you will go under Jeffrey, and actually, Jeffrey is not considered to be a road that would be closed permanently, but if there were a tournament out here for a week, it is likely that Jeffrey would be closed during that week. It would be a great place to have a little festival on the street, show everybody, you know, how great this community is, but also we would eliminate the congestion of having to go under. So that's not going to be a big problem, but you're going to go under Jeffrey.
And lastly, will the established leagues still have their established play dates and times? Will that still be something that's working to do?
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know exactly what those are going to be, but that is #1 consideration and #1 priority in making sure that what we're doing and what we're creating here is what you all want. Because if you all don't want it, we're not going to do it. I'll tell you that. We won't do it if it's not what you want. So that's why we're encouraging the community input. We need to know. And we want to start working on that next week, not just, you know, 4 years from now, let's say, when this restoration is complete. How is this going to work starting next week? And how are we going to make sure the city amateur continues out at Jackson Park? Thrives, it gets even better. So yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Ms. Curry,
Yes.
how long has the lady been playing Jackson Park?
Well, I'll say this. I'm a 37-year member, and I started here, and the Ugly Lady started in 1974 at Joe Lewis. That is our home course. But we've been playing here probably all 43 years that we've been in existence.
Let's give them a round of applause. All right, moving right along. Next league will be St. Mark's Golf Club. Mr. Burke, are you here?
Yes, sir. Again, thanks for the opportunity. To the mic. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay, again, thanks for the opportunity. With St. Mark's Golf Club, it's been around since 1985. We have roughly 60 participants and 45 active. What we're looking to find out is WGA, do they have sole responsibility for the caddy program?
Well, the WGA has sole responsibility for the caddy program. That's a good question. In the beginning, yes. Starting this summer, they will have the responsibility because we don't have a caddy program. We need to get it started. We need to get it subsidized, and they're willing to do that, right? Come up here. Answer that for me. But I think that caddy program is going to evolve into, again, whatever we want.
Thank you for the question of the caddy program and will it be controlled by the WGA. The WGA that committed this summer, they will subsidize, train, and manage 20 caddies be a page posted on the website by tomorrow or Wednesday. It is www.chicagoparksgolfalliance.org. That will be the information about the caddy program and the ways that your son, daughter, neighbor could submit for consideration. So certainly not all done. The WGA has the best resources to train the caddies. They've identified a young man who's currently a senior at Northern Illinois that's going to be graduating from the Evans Scholar program to work with these kids as a manager there and really be a good role model for them and teach what he learned in the Evans Scholar program. And their connection to the Evans Scholar program is another exciting thing about working with them. They have a scholarship that has sent nearly 11,000 caddies through college since 1930. These are 4-year full housing and tuition scholarships that are awarded on criteria of your work merit, your work record as a caddy, your scholastic achievement, financial need, and personal character. So the WGA really, they're the best ones in terms of setting up a program, but in terms of control, we want it to be for all of us here, and we want to find out, I think, Coach Erica from the first tee is going to be passing around a sheet to each of the league members to find out when they play and what interests they have in caddies, whether they're walking or whether they're riding on board caddy. The other best thing about the caddy program again this summer is it will come at no cost to you. You will, if you play around and take a caddy, you will sign power for him or her, which he will turn into the WGA and be paid per back by them. Certainly if they do a good job and you finish by Jackson Park Clubhouse, a Gatorade or a hot dog or a small gratuity, always appreciated. More importantly though, if the people in your league at St. Mark's, if there's attorneys, if there's politicians, accountants, let these kids know what you do and please strike up conversations with them. And if you have Jimmy and Joanna with you the first week of June and you think they did a good job, let them know when you're coming back. They'll arrange and we'll work to get them back out. But we're going to get the application program put up and distributed to everybody this week.
Great. Now, are you just going to max it out at 20 or we're looking at 3 cents?
For the first year right now, we think 20 is the right amount to train and manage. I think as the summer goes on, might there be room for more? Yes, and as we look at the long term of this project, should it be near 3 digits potentially? I think right now, when we start with 0, we think 20 is a sizable amount to make an impact and introduce some new kids to the game and also keep it manageable and impactful.
The criteria for you selecting them, would it be based on residency or affiliation with programs?
So it will be based on residency in this community. Again, by Illinois labor statute, kids will need to be 14 years or older by June 1st of this summer in order to start. And really trying to align with those criteria that we mentioned for the Evans Scholar program. So we can turn out some good candidates. Again, that was your work record as a caddy, scholastic achievement. So you don't need to be a 3.5 straight A student, but be well-rounded, be in school leader, extracurriculars.
That was my concern because we're trying to get more kids that don't have the 3.5s. Trying to give them another side of the coin.
I think that's a good thing to do it early. Another group that we're working with to help develop and do some of the training and identify some candidates pretty early is the first tee in Greater Chicago. How can we bring some more awareness to them and give some opportunities for their students who do know the game pretty well. But I think you've made a very good point that we need to introduce some other kids who wouldn't, but for this project, be out caddying and know it. I think Dion a little bit could speak his story to some of what caddying learned and introduce them to make a full impact. Yes.
I got 2 more questions. I might give the mic to someone else. First tee, they're kind of like running the program. Are you going to have any additional programs that offer golf and mentoring to participate as well?
I think right now our goal is to, before reinventing everything, is to work with the programs that are here and established. We've talked to CG about their Bob Links League that the Chicago Women's Club has. First tee is one that they're reaching 200 kids a year right here, but could be much more. They fight the challenge of working at the Jackson Park driving range at 63rd Street and the putting green here, and that's not efficient to the amount of kids they can reach and safety issues as they try to move it. So if you have other junior programs that are here, we certainly want to know of it and make sure that they're well represented and incorporated. But we think right now there's some that do have the formula very well, so if we could recruit some more volunteers and support to that, let's not reinvent it, let's complement it. Bringing the caddy program is the biggest issue.
Great, sounds good. My final question is, our practice facilities. The current practice venue so far compared to University Park. I mean, you got 2 tiers, heated, how's that look? You guys finish?
Definitely something that needs to improve, and looking again at how can you consolidate potentially practice facilities, shorter halls. One of the more striking things that we saw on this, Michael Rumler here and I, we've been going to a lot of the high schools around here and talking about caddying, but talking about which ones have golf teams and don't. We spoke with Coach Bill Kluber at Penwood Academy, less than 2 or 3 miles away from here, and a really inspiring group of kids. They have 10 right now on their golf team that were started by 3 current seniors 3 years ago, and they've played varsity golf now for 3 years in CPS League. And they go and play every day out at Harborside because Jackson Park Range is not a good place to learn the game right now. They felt in terms of holding matches that the Jackson Park golf course was substandard. So certainly limiting their participation if you have to move kids 10 miles away. So I think that's a big piece of it, is how you improve the practice facility.
So we'll be looking at something on the lines of the first.
Very much so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, St. Mark's Golf Club. The next aide that will be speaking will be Diane Needs and the Fairway Network. Diane, you here?
With the members of the Fairway Network, please stand, and those who are
All right, Fairway Network, come on, everybody stand up.
And I particularly like to thank the police for these classes. Can you hear me now? Okay. The Fairway Network was formulated in 1993 by prominent businesswomen in Chicago who recognized that decisions were made on the golf course and right by the boardroom. So with that in mind, and not wanting to be the cart girl at the corporate outings, serving their peers and underlings, the Fairway Network was born to enhance women's golf. Through the past 4 years, we have, at our charity outings, raised over $100,000 being totally given to Chicago Foundation for Women for those causes that help women and girls. We have a passion for golf, camaraderie, and community service. With a business person's mind involved, these are suggestions, recommendations that we would like to make that we're sure can be embraced and supported. The first one would be heavy involvement of a black contractor. We would like to see a black contractor considered as either a partner or a lead contractor on this project that would send a powerful message to the community most affected by this transition and providing skilled jobs that would be able to support and perhaps a deterrent to crime in the area. We've got to be realistic about what's going on in our community.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just want to interrupt real quick. We only have 30 minutes left.
I will be.
And for the purpose of the day, we have a lot of people that have suggestions, but we want to limit our communication to questions.
I understand. Okay.
I would just like to say that the agreement between the Chicago Park District and the Chicago Parks Golf Alliance, which is available online and open full transparency, we have committed to abide by the Park District standards for minority and women-owned business enterprises. So certainly will
And
be.
with that standard, there is a well-known minority contractor who unfortunately couldn't be here because he's being hosted by Tom Rivers at the Open Cubs opener, Larry Huggins, who is the force behind the Chicago Football Classic, and well known to Mr. Kelly. Moving right along, I understand there cannot be a commitment to this issue right now, but that is something that would be important in moving forward. Another suggestion for affordability, considering that a touring bid may come as early as 2025, 2027, based upon how the tour sets their schedule, is that corporate sponsors be recruited to host their outings here in Jackson, South Shore. Those corporate sponsors could also provide mentorships and paid internships to those caddies. Because let's face it, it is extremely expensive to travel around various courses to participate in the types of tournaments that they would need to move on. I would also like to say that Billy Casper Golf Management has been the best golf management team that in 17 years that our league has been at Jackson that we've ever experienced. And knowing that golf is a business, rather than taking one of the aspects of the caddy program, could be teaching these young people the business of golf, which is how to run a golf course, how to be a groundskeeper. These paid internships by the golf management team could also be considered and provided as a support to our caddies. We could also add local businesses could be part of that also. But one question that could be answered is, where's the money coming from and how much tax money is involved in this project?
Well, okay. First thing I'll say is we have discussed, and I will convince you that we are fully considering everything that you talked about. Do I have a firm commitment on the that hiring practices that we're going to operate under other than standard, other level probably wouldn't get to know how to support, but whatever is important to you all is going to be important to us.
Yeah, the lights. Oh, yeah.
The core of golf tournament, just so you know, is a 501c3 organization which might not be the Chicago Cars Golf Alliance. There will be a core organization for a tournament here that actually does the business of the tournament. And there will be funds that come in. This tournament, whatever tournament it is that's played here, will generate revenues that benefit this particular community, not the PGA Tour. So I want you to know, we have no idea what shape or form that's going to take. They will be responsible for deciding what corporate sponsors are going to come in. The only real partner, other than the Western Golf Association, that's now set is the first tee. There will be a major first tee component here. The first tee teaches core values that are based around the golf course and activities that occur on a golf course. There is room, plenty of room for other programs such as the Tiger Woods Learning Center. Tiger Woods Learning Center is basically a classroom-oriented initiative that is completely different than the first tee. And I'm not saying we ought to have a Tiger Woods Learning Center. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't, but there are components of it that are going to be complementary, like teaching the business of golf and things like that, that would easily coexist with the first tee.
The funding, where's the money coming from? How much tax money?
The money, the Chicago Parks Golf Alliance is totally funded by private donations. They are not investments. They're donations. It's the first time a golf model has ever been done like this. People that are giving the money are not getting a return on their money. It's not an investment, it is a donation. It's like building a park. It's like building a park, but it's going to be done with golf as the park, this part of it. So therefore, there doesn't have to be a cost. It's not going to cost you money, and there doesn't have to be a cost associated with the golf courses when they are completed, because we spent $25 million of privately donated money. That's the beauty of this model.
Of the South Shore Men, and that's Mr. Will Carrington, speaking for himself.
Thanks for the opportunity. I have a couple of questions. I haven't heard anyone say anything about Friends of the Park. Are they on board or do they disapprove?
Thank you for the question. It was Friends of the Parks and their views on this project. They have been participating in nearly a dozen community meetings, including Al's committee with the aldermen. And again, our message here is that we are working within what's been involved for 100+ years, so we are improving the current use and not transforming. So the Friends of the Parks has been participating, have no public opinion on it, but they certainly have a seat at the table, and we want to make sure that we're addressing all of these viewpoints beforehand, so that there's a comprehensive plan that is accepted for everyone.
Also, I hear people talking about practice facilities. Will there be anything for the winter, since Chicago is long winters, and there aren't any places for practice? Has that been addressed?
I heard you all play golf out here in November and then also February. Okay. The answer is yes. Right now, the possibilities are really threefold. You have a South Shore parcel that is going to have some space for some type of facility. This is only 70 acres, this entire 9-hole parcel right now. Is there room here to put in a major practice facility with indoor facilities for inclement weather and things like that? The answer is no. Is there a place out here for some short holes or a warm-up area or something? The answer is yes. So we can forget about a facility like that on this South Shore parcel. It's not going to happen. It would ruin the park. It would not be the best thing for your community. So now we're down to two options. We have a current facility that is both in disrepair and needs work over at Jackson Park, that is a full driving range, that is not located adjacent to the golf course, that would somehow have to be connected to the Jackson Park Golf Course if that were the facility to be used. That is under consideration. That is going to be part of the whole discussion of what is the front yard of the presidential center going to look like. And we don't want to rule anything out about potentially using that facility, but if you did it, you could certainly do a lot of things to upgrade that facility, and part of that would be providing a place where people could play and work on their game in the winter. The other option is to create a new facility on the Jackson Park site. And that is one that's being considered also. The totality, though, of a facility that size is almost 20 acres. It's a lot of land, 20 acres. If we were to create a totally new driving range with teeing areas and areas for the first tee to have their programs and facility going on there. That might be a good scenario, but right now, there isn't even enough parking in Jackson Park as there is. You know, we gotta look at this Jackson Park parking situation, I think, for this spring, not 4 years from now. Because I know, I take my car out that sort of sometimes, I don't know what to do, so we're looking at all that. But I think because of the uncertainty of the plan with the Presidential Center, we would be remiss to say we're going to plan an entire driving range, an entire clubhouse, an entire covered area for practice in the winter right next to the library on the far west side of Jackson, because there still is tremendous uncertainty with the road situation over there and with a lot of things. So that is a really important element of what we are looking at. But again, we want input from the community. We're trying to understand the traffic flow and how all that works, and really what is going to happen with the Presidential Center. There just isn't room to do something like that at South Shore. So if it's going to happen, which I think it can, it'll be over at, let's let Al talk about this. It'll be over where the existing site is, or somewhere in the main Jackson Park area.
We've been talking with Mike Kelly about simulators. Even in Jackson Park, we've done some preliminary measurements inside the clubhouse in the back. You guys know the back room where they store all the tables and chairs, simulators. And I want you guys to be very active in making that point known, not just me. That there's a combination between 2 and 3 and even more simulators. But that is the most important. The revenue stream, active golfer wants to play year-round. So again, community involved, you got to have a voice to say, yeah, Mike Kelly, meetings, or even our park district, could we accommodate simulators as a part of this opportunity? Make your voice.
To the point of indoor facilities, too, the first tee has been a tremendous help there. I don't know if Lisa Quinn is still here, but she sent us some specs on other first tee facilities in other cities that would be provide indoor learning space year-round to not just kids, but all golfers. And specifically in town here, we've gone up to Northwestern University where they have a putting green and indoor hitting nets, as well as out to Cantini Park. So we're really taking those into consideration, just trying to figure out the space available and best ways to use it.
Okay, the South Shore Golf League has over 100 members. Would you like to stand, guys, and play in our league? Because some of these guys have been playing over here for over 30 years. Almost every day. It's going to be a problem for them to get tee times because they play here every day and they think that this might put some type of fringe on their playing abilities.
We thought long and hard about that. I will tell you this, there's a reason why South Shore Country Club didn't work. Didn't work because it was exclusionary. There's nothing that's going to work here if it's exclusionary. Nothing. I don't care how much money you have, or whether you have Tiger Woods or Barack Obama or anybody else. So this thing has got to be inclusionary. Is there going to be room for 100 tee times a day, every day? Probably not. But we're going to have to all work together on how can 100 guys play as much golf as they want out here, and that is going to be the utmost priority. It's, I was involved in a project, Debbie and I, in the middle of Nebraska, called Sand Hills, which is now one of the top 10 courses in America. It's a private club. And told this story earlier to a small group, but this club is only open from Memorial Day till the end of September. And it's in a county that's probably, I don't know, 20,000 square miles or some gigantic county. But to short up the story, it's a membership that's very expensive, and it's something where they can bring guests, but for a lot of money, yet every person in Hooker County, Nebraska that's a resident, that county pays $75 a year and plays as much golf as they want. What do? They run out and cover up the greens when a hailstorm's coming. They help. They pull dandelions as they go from one green to the next tee. Well, we're going to really look to do, this is going to be your golf course. It's going to be your facility. How are we going to make this work? Because we're going to need your help. Yeah, and I think there's a way to make sure that all those other guys can keep playing as much golf as they want.
Last speaker, that's Erica Shavers from Ladies on the Green. Erica?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Erica.
So, Ladies on the Green, we're relatively new. Haven't been around as long as most of you ladies, but I'm glad to be a part of the group. We've been around since 2012. We're a small league, just a small group of professional ladies who enjoy the game of golf, and we hope to continue playing here long after this restoration has been completed. So, just real briefly, Mark and his family came roaming around here around 2015 when I was working in the pro shop, and I was working, so I couldn't really stop and talk to him, so he walked with me down to the maintenance shop to help me get some parts, and he was saying, you know, we're thinking about, you know, building these two, putting these two golf courses together. And I'm, oh, okay, sounds like a good idea. And in my mind at the time, I was thinking, how are they going to do that? You know, how is this going to affect the community? Are we going to still be able to golf here? And so one of my questions actually pertains to that. How long will the course be closed once construction begins? Because I do feel the pain of the Monday League. I mean, they play a lot of golf here, and they're going to be heavily affected by this course being closed down. So how long is that going to be? And that's for everybody that plays here, but how long is it going to be, you know, for the construction? Do you have any idea?
You know, there's going to be a couple of different scenarios with that, Erica. One is sort of a small phasing of the project where we can try to keep as many golf holes open as long as we can, and how we can reopen golf holes that are finished. There's a scenario where South Shore, which is quite a bit simpler than Jackson Park, gets done on a quicker basis. So that is the hope. The hope is to keep as much golf available for you down here as possible. But I will tell you,